Right, I guess we'll consider this the walking portion of the what the fuck. Walk and talk. I'll try to do that anyway. I'm a little tired. Kind of a long night in stick camp for some reason. Even though it wasn't really, I don't know, it wasn't a profound evening in any real way, distinctive. It was good. It was, we shot through it anyway. And, I'm always going to mention it just because, it's sort of sticks in your mind. There were some new women's, and they were quite charming. Juliet showed up for a little while. Karina, not so much. Had trouble with her internets. Had some wisdom tooth pulled. So, but she looked good, and she, even in her misery. Well, I really should include a thank you for, to Gypsy Witch. She was there for a couple hours. She was entertaining. Tina and Anna, thank you. Nuclear Knight, Morbid Atheist, Anti-Bullshit Man was in there earlier. Paul's Ego, Astronaut was even there for a little while. You all know who you are, and thank you, blah, 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 blah. And, that's enough. Back to where you were. You did make some arguments regarding the vegetarian thing. We did get stuck on that subject a few times, and I certainly didn't have much patience for it, just because we've been through it all week, and the way we went through it this week was just so ugly, having to argue old propaganda films and, just the worst kind of nonsense arguments, plants feel, and, they were pulling that crap again, and there's some sort of justification, like it makes a difference. I mean, whether a plant feels or not doesn't change the fact that a pig is nothing but at worst, a subhuman. It's close enough. Yeah, it's a bit retarded, but it knows joy, and it knows fear, and it knows pain, and it knows all the big emotional things. That's all that matters. I mean, that's all that I respect about myself, is my capacity to be harmed, really. The rest of it's a pile of crap. I mean, the rest of it's like distinguishing between people who, drink their wine with all their fingers on the glass or with their little pinky out. I mean, it's not enough of a distinction to have such a desperate differentiation in how creatures are treated. Certainly retarded humans aren't exactly what we are in terms of cognitive organisms. So, why the double standard? If you're going to do medical testing, why don't you pick on something less sentient, obviously, unless you have some sort of ego-based, religious-based, dogma-based perception that humans are doing something especially different. Evolution kind of proves, if you believe in it, that there isn't really a huge distinction. But anyway, don't want to dominate this video with that dumb subject again. It's not a dumb subject, but it's just enough of it already. Okay, an interruption. I did see a Don Exodus video. I did do one video on the Do Not God channel about the whatever he is guy, the Andromeda guy, and I want to do more of these. And the Don Exodus guy did a video, pointing out how atheists are really good for morality, and religious people have this fucked-hearted notion that religion does people good. But I thought it was kind of lame, just because, most religious people aren't religious. They're really atheists. They don't believe in God. Come on. They wouldn't sin if they believed in God. So theoretically, if people really did believe in God and heaven and hell and all that crap, we would be more ethical. I mean, just because, you wouldn't fuck around. If you really believed there was a God, you wouldn't do what he says you're not supposed to do. So, it's, I don't know. I don't think there's any point in trying to prove through history that atheists are more moral than religious people. It is really the people that really believed, generally speaking, the whole meek thing. If they really read the Jesus stuff, they are pretty benign people. Forgive 7 times 70, all that shit. It just depends on what part of the Bible they read and all that crap. So, well, whatever. It's a bogus argument. I just did half a video for no good reason. so I guess I'll have to find something else to put in the other video. So moving on, back to where you regularly scheduled bullshit. So what else? Some kind of controversy. I don't know what exactly, if it's real or unreal, but apparently the human Highlander is mad. I mean, he unsubbed from me and some other people, I think. I didn't check into it. I don't know. I saw him in the room, his name in the comments, and I just made a casual remark, based on the fact that, yeah, there's some things he says that bug the hell out of me. Not a big deal. I was light about it. And then I just basically, pointed out how much I have basic contempt for Alex Jones and think he's a con artist and a bullshitter. I have absolute confidence that if you gave him a polygraph test, he would fail it all over the place. He doesn't believe any of the crap he spouts. He's just doing it because there's an audience for it that wants to hear it. And, he's got a style thing, but he's nothing more than a Rush Limbaugh with a slightly different angle, one that isn't quite as hostile to people of more liberal persuasion. But he's the same guy. I mean, it's got these theories, that the government's aborting babies, committing genocide by aborting our babies. I mean, it's just so wacky. I mean, he's just a nut. Ron Paul is a nut, right? The guy's just a fucking nut. He can't get the ABCs of reality right. So, I mean, you can't... Well, anyway, I can make the extensive arguments about all the bullshit. But, yeah, I mean, they create these demons, like the Federal Reserve, and, the military is gonna... A bunch of soldiers are going to come arm our streets and kill us all for going to the 7-Eleven. I mean, it's bullshit. Somehow it's going to be efficient for the government to have a bunch of human beings in, some sort of concentration camp, Americans. Well, whatever. It's just idiotic. So he's, I guess, pissed off because he still manages to find cause to think we need to worry about all these bizarre government strategies that, the whole truther stuff, like there's really some possibility that any of this crap could be true. This is just storytelling. I don't know what this is. This is a conspiracy theory stuff. People just don't like simple answers. They want a drama. They want every suicide to be a murderer because murders are more interesting. Something like that. Okay, another interruption. So look, summarizing the week. It was a weird week, but I think it was productive. Had the Brett Keane argument, which is kind of stupid, but it's good to do the, just to argue now and then about the, animals are people too kind of thing. And then it was the modern mystic on the economy stuff, and I think that's going to, maybe it'll get somewhere. Who knows? I mean, it's you really have to be interested in how all this shit works because there's a lot of details and nuance. But I think it was worthwhile. So I'll post a link to the Do Not God channel, and you gotta really, you gotta look through the videos. A lot of videos. We'll see how it goes. We'll see where it goes. He doesn't seem to be responding, but that doesn't mean that I can't respond to what he says, and so I'll respond to what he says in his comments or say, and we'll see where it goes. So that's about the week. It wasn't a great YouTube week. Not a lot happening, not a lot being talked about. Consumption, reproduction, it really is. Nobody's coming up with that third ingredient, not a really good one anyway. Life's just a mechanical process, out of control. It's just a desire machine stuff. And nobody's making a very good counter argument. So anyway, that's where we are. Back to the other crap. Yeah, there's a difference between like Friday and Saturday night, and I just don't have many people that come into the Saturday night room that want to argue, and so sometimes it's a little hard to get on a subject and maintain any kind of conversation. And, if there is a conversation, it's about a subject that everybody's just sick of. I mean, it's like the arguing 2 + 2 or something. It's just like they're just so sick of arguing nonsense and baby mush. There's a lot of people out there who just keep doing that. They have some sort of philosophical argument. Oh, you can't have an objective value. And they'll just beat that horse to death. And there's like no point. You can keep saying over and over, it's not about proving that suffering matters. I don't have to have the proof if I just say it's a premise of conversation. I mean, it's just a fundamental conceded fact. If you haven't conceded the fact, fine. But then we have nothing to talk about because it's the foundation of anything I call rational philosophy. There's no rational philosophy if you don't see the difference between a rock and a frog.